It's all about the money, really, isn't it? So what would you do differently to Greg Dyke?
Well, I think Greg Dyke has suggested one solution. It must be part of a package. I mean, as Glenn Hoddle once said, the problem is that at a very early level, the English player, the young English player, is not made to love the ball. He's made to treat the ball as an enemy. You know, this is the old George Best line, that the first touch of an English player is a 50-yard pass. You know, and therefore, what we have to do is change the coaching system from a very early age. What we are having now, and this is the worrying thing, too many players at a very young age are made to be competitive. They must first be made to play well, and then you have more competitive football later on.
So it's grassroots football is the key to get our young players competing with the likes of decent players from Spain and France that basically Premier League clubs are stockpiling, aren't they? And then loaning out as well.
Absolutely, and he is making some suggestions. The B team proposal, as Simon said, will meet with a lot of opposition. The problem is that what we are getting now is that the clubs are getting better players. Forget the non-EU, they're EU players. They're getting better players from France, from Italy, from Spain, Germany, and they are stacking their young teams with them. And of course, they're getting them cheaper. Talk to any club manager and they'll say, you know, compare like for like, a player abroad is cheaper than an English player.
Just briefly, Mihir, we've had a few messages on Facebook about this. Tom Holland says, why not just cap overseas players in the Premier League teams? Job done. Raymond Dixon says, good idea on paper. Why not implement the proposal right away? In fact, why not? I mentioned loaning out players. Why not stop the number of players that big clubs can loan out? Chelsea have 28 players out on loan at the moment. That's ridiculous, surely.
Yes, because they've been allowed to increase their squads. But there's a problem with capping players. We are part of the EU, so, you know, you cannot stop a French or a German or a Spanish or a Dutch player coming or a Belgian player coming. You can stop players from Africa coming. You can stop players from Uruguay coming. But then what would happen to Luis Suarez? Would Liverpool not want him?
As a Liverpool fan, Mihir, don't go there.